Why the ikemen concept is broken in Japan. We need to talk about ikemen, those picture-perfect, effortlessly cool guys who dominate Japanese media. From dramas to ads, they've become the poster boys for modern masculinity. But let's dig a little deeper. Is the ikemen concept really as perfect as it seems? Spoiler alert, it's not. First, for the uninitiated, what's an ikemen? The term means good-looking man, but it's more than that. It's about sharp features, perfect grooming, and a stylish, cool persona. Basically, the guy who walks into a room and turns heads. But here's where it gets interesting. This ideal comes with some serious flaws. Let's start with the most obvious issue. The ikemen archetype values looks over everything else. Personality, skills, accomplishments, those are secondary. The problem? It reduces men to their physical traits. Fun fact, studies show that people perceived as attractive are more likely to get hired or promoted. This is called the halo effect. But the downside? Men labeled as handsome often feel pressured to live up to unrealistic expectations, and their other qualities can be overlooked. It's like beauty becomes their prison. Imagine being told your worth is tied to your appearance, and that's it. It's suffocating, right? And that brings me to the next problem, the illusion of effortlessness. People think ikemen just wake up, throw on a blazer, and look amazing. But here's the truth. It's a lot of work. Let me break it down. Grooming routines, hours, shopping for the latest trends, expensive, fitness routines, exhausting. Being an ikemen isn't about being naturally cool. It's a full-time job. A friend of mine, let's call him Kenta, tried to live up to the ikemen standard when he started dating someone new. He spent half his paycheck on skincare products and suits, only to hear her say, "I like guys who are more laid back." Kenta was crushed. The ikemen aesthetic is a trap. You can't win. Now, you'd think being an ikemen makes you the life of the party, right? Nope. Many people find them intimidating. According to a recent survey by a Japanese dating app, over 40% of women said they felt nervous or uneasy approaching men who seemed too perfect. Why? Because they feel like they're out of reach, like these guys belong in magazines, not real life. A colleague once told me about a coworker who was the office ikemen. Everyone admired him, but no one invited him to after-work drinks. He later confided that he felt lonely and isolated, despite all the attention. Being admired can be pretty lonely. And here's where we get into a deeper problem. While we often talk about the objectification of women, the ikemen concept does something similar to men. Think about it. The ikemen isn't celebrated for his intellect, his humor, or his kindness. He's valued for his appearance. This reinforces harmful gender norms, turning people into checklists of beauty standards. And it doesn't just hurt ikemen, it sets unrealistic expectations for all men. Fun fact, Japan's beauty industry for men is booming, with sales of men's grooming products exceeding 130 billion yen annually. That's great for business. But what's the cost to mental health? Media doesn't help either. In Japanese dramas, ikemen are always the perfect boyfriend. They're charming, attentive, and romantic. But in real life, no one can live up to that. My friend Aki once dated an ikemen she met at a bar. She was swept off her feet at first, but she quickly realized he wasn't a romantic lead. He was just a regular guy with flaws like everyone else. When the fantasy faded, so did the relationship. This constant idealization sets people up for disappointment. Real relationships are about connection, not perfection. Finally, let's talk about the flip side of the ikemen coin. Sure, they get attention, but it's not all positive. People often assume ikemen are vain or shallow. Fun fact. A 2023 survey by a Japanese social media platform found that 35% of respondents viewed ikemen as self-centered or not serious about relationships. It's unfair, but it shows how even admiration comes with a price. So, what's the takeaway? The ikemen concept might be fun and entertainment, but it's deeply flawed. It creates unrealistic expectations, objectifies men, and puts pressure on people to conform to impossible standards. A redefined view of attractiveness encourages a diverse array of qualities, allowing people to value different aspects of themselves and others, while alleviating pressures to conform to impractical ideals. Here's an idea. What if we celebrated individuality instead of superficial ideals? What if being attractive meant being kind, authentic, and confident, qualities anyone can achieve? What do you think? Is it time to ditch the ikemen fantasy and embrace something real? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more deep dives into cultural norms.